Greetings. Today, we're going to be learning about your class syllabus and you. So, a class syllabus is very important. There's a lot of valuable information on your syllabus, and I think it's something a lot of students are not using to its full capacity. So, today we're going to be discussing more about your syllabus. So, with your syllabi, it helps you with your learning process. It gives you valuable information about the lessons that you're going to have to do. The expectations that your professor has of you will be explained in your syllabus. So the first question is, what is a syllabus? Well, a syllabus contains like I said, everything you need to know about the class, right? You'll find your course objectives, your required material, class policies and rules, information about the American Disability Act, homework, tests and quizzes, and grading scale, right? All these things are valuable in matriculating through a course, right? Um, uh, so a syllabus is considered to be a learning contract between the instructor and the students. It establishes some basic rules for interaction, right? Well, does your professor like for you to leave your book bags at the front of the classroom when you have exams? Does your professor have policies on headphones? Um, do they have policies on how to ask and answer questions in class? So on and so forth. These types of things are generally contained in the syllabus. And here's a example of the types of things you'll find in the syllabus. Like I said, you'll find your course objectives, your grading scale, topics, the textbook. That's very important. Class dates, so on and so forth. All these things are found in the syllabus, and we're going to take a moment to discuss a few of these things, especially like what is your course objective, right? So a course objective is an important part of any course, right? It helps the student know exactly what is expected of them in the class, right? Um, they are designed to help students know what skills they should have and acquire throughout the duration of the course. Ultimately, the course objectives plainly lay out what is expected of the student, right? So, for example, if you're taking a math class or your one of your objectives would be, if you're taking college algebra, one of your objectives would be to learn and apply the distance formula. So you would have to make sure you are doing everything associated with learning the distance formula. So if you know that at the beginning of the semester, when you see that over the course of your studying, you're going to say, okay, I know that's one of the things that I'm going to be tested over is the distance formula, right? That's why you want to look at your syllabus, because in plain English, they have written out all those things, right? Course objectives should always be specific, direct, detailed, descriptive, and organized, right? If anything on your syllabus is unclear, you should ask your professor about it, because the syllabus should be the easiest thing to understand in every class, right? You don't want to be confused about something on the syllabus. So here we have an example of a course syllabus. Right here, it's in the humanities department. They should have the department, the course number, the course name, the credit hours, the books that they're going to be using, the objectives, um, and the learning outcomes, right? And the learning outcomes are one that I think is important, because when you read those, you can understand what your teacher is expecting to get from you in order for you to pass the course. In order for you to pass this course, you have to be able to demonstrate a proficient knowledge and understanding of all the student learning outcomes, right? So one of the other things on the syllabus is the required materials, right? Those are materials required for a college course. They're usually listed in the syllabus, and they will say required if they are required materials. Some cases you'll have optional material, right? You'll have books or things that are additional on top of what they expect for you to read, right? And that means it's not required, but it would probably help you, right? Um, all material listed in the syllabus, whether it's optional or not, are necessary for success and not just completion of a course, right? So if you are content making C's, maybe you don't need to do the syllabus, but we don't want to shoot for C's. We want to shoot for A's, right? If you go into a class aiming for a C, you most likely will hit a little lower than that and end up at a D or an F. But if you go in shooting for an A, you probably will get an A, right? It's just the way the mind works. Then there's course policies. Course policies are the guidelines and rules for the professor's classroom. All rules and regulations that a professor has for their classroom must be listed in the course policies section of the syllabus. So if you have a professor and they don't like for you to have headphones on and it's not in the syllabus, then they need to put it in the syllabus. If it's something that they are going to want to be a stickler about, it should be in the syllabus. If it's not in the syllabus, how would you know not to do that, right? So make sure you are looking at the course policies and the course guidelines so you will know when you are or are not being respectful of your instructor, because respect goes a long way, especially in the classroom. So a sample of course policies would be whether or not it's required for a student to attend seminars or guest lectures, right? Cell phone policies, maybe texting and during class times and tests, right? The backpack policy. We many times professors will want students to keep their backpack up front when they take tests. Then some classes in schools may have dress codes, right? They may say we want everyone to, if you have a presentation, wear business casual. You want to make sure you follow those. Accommodations for how the professor can accommodate religious obligations, right? There may be policies about those types of things. And there may also be policies dealing with absences. Like, for example, what type of absences will and will not be excused. Some of these things are done by the institution. Others are done by the professor. And then one of the most important parts of the syllabus is the Americans with Disabilities Act. This is an essential part of a college course syllabus. And within the syllabus, each professor must have their own unique write-up about what the Americans with Disability Act states, right? So every syllabus that you see should have a clause or a portion on it with the Americans with Disability Act, right? So all syllabi will have that. And here's just an example of what happens a lot when students interact with their professors, right? And students will ask, well, what did we cover in class last week? Well, it's in the syllabus. What's your late homework policy? Well, it's in the syllabus. When are your office hours? It's in the syllabus. How will my grade be computed? It's in the syllabus, right? Most of the things students will ask their professors and instructors are contained in the syllabus, right? If you want to be prepared for any circumstance that may arise in your class, you want to make sure that you are studying the syllabus. And in conclusion, always remember to read the syllabus for each of your classes. You want to know what should be in your syllabus. So if there's anything that should be there and is not, you can ask your instructor. You want to ask questions if your syllabus is unclear to you. And you always keep your syllabus on hand so you can refer to it while studying. Always do these things. So thank you for taking the time to listen in on my PowerPoint presentation. I hope you have a great rest of your day.